Yes.
Well, remember that time we said we were going to do 2 issues every episode?
Oh, yes.
And then life happened and we can only record one at a time. Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to record Human Target Book 7.
Oh, number 7?
Yeah.
Just joking.
You can count still.
I can't.
Oh, well. This one has this is an interesting cover. Like, it's like on fire, but it's on fire.
It is on fire. Double.
With fire.
Double fire. Triple fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's Human Target Book 7 with an orangish fiery background with green fire down below.
Hot.
Do you know what fire's original
No, I
name
don't.
is?
What was her original name?
I believe it was Green Flame,
Green
wasn't
Flame.
it? Very exciting. I can't believe they didn't keep that name.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. Maybe.
Well, if you go back, and of course I don't have the podcast number that we covered it the first time, but we did the whole thing about the Global Guardians, which I should have that podcast number ready because, that would be a good callback. Like if I was a good editor, I would have a little editorial box with a little asterisk and it would say, go to podcast episode, blah, blah, blah. But, it is correct. She was part of the Global Guardians originally. And while Ice was called Ice Maiden. Fire was called the Green Flame. See, because she's green. And she's from Brazil. And the flag of Brazil is green. So if you're from Brazil, then you would be green, right?
See.
Very clever, those Global Guardians
were. Very clever.
Yeah. She had a green mask, I believe, too. I don't know. Wait, I don't know that for sure. But yeah, it's very exciting. Do you know who some of the other founding members of the Global Guardians were? There was Seraph from Israel. How creative there. There was the Bushmaster from Venezuela. Interesting. There was the Olympian. Do you want to guess where the Olympian was from?
I'm going to gander from Greece.
Yeah, good guess. The Murderer, as we know from Breakdowns, Jack-O-Lantern. Do you remember
Australia?
where he was from? Yeah,
was it?
Guess.
Was that right? Oh, I just figured. They were putting people in very ironic places. I figured murderers from Australia.
Not. He's from Ireland. No, there's a different character that's from Australia. He's actually kind of still around. Impala. I didn't know this one. I'll give you a hint. Was a Zulu warrior.
Sudan.
South Africa.
Close.
The Little Mermaid.
From Atlantis?
No. She can't be from Atlantis. That's where Aquaman is from.
Well, I thought they were friends,
These are the Global Guardians. Remember, they're supposed to represent different countries from around the world.
Then the Little Mermaid would be from, the DR.
She's from Denmark.
Denmark.
I think that's a tough one. How about Dr. Mist?
Dr. Mist. He hangs out with Dr. Thunder and Dr. Pepper. Dr. Thunder.
He's just noted as being from Africa. So,
giant continent.
Yeah, it's not a country. Yes. Now, I hope you get this one, or we're in some real trouble. The next two, I really hope you get. Okay. The Tasmanian Devil.
Oh man, that's a tough one. New Zealand. No. New Guinea. No. Hold on. Australia. No. Tasmania.
Well, Tasmania is part of what country?
New Australia.
You just said Australia. Yes.
I said.
Okay. Now, here's
America
the very
Samoa.
non-racist one. Here's the very non-racist one. The Rising Sun.
Oh. uh, wow. Hey, that one.
As somebody of
I was
Japanese
gonna say
American descent, I'm sure that one makes
that
you proud.
that I mean, it's very nail on the head there. Yes,
They were trying.
they
These names are all from the
very
70s.
stereotypical. Yes,
Um, Owl, Owl, Owl Woman, Owl Woman.
from the Amazon,
She's from Oklahoma
Oklahoma. Oh, okay.
because she's Native
Oh, okay.
American of the Cherokee
Oh,
tribe, of
of course.
course. Yes, because there are no other
Yeah.
tribes.
Yes, there are no other tribes.
Yes. Thunder Lord.
Thunderlord.
Yes.
Must be from. I'm assuming of Norse descent.
You would be incorrect. Thunderlord is indeed a Buddhist monk from Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Tuatara.
Tuatara. I'm gonna go with another country based in Africa.
No, you're not going to pick one. You're just going to say African-based.
Zimbabwe.
Okay. Well, it was. He could predict the future, and he's from New Zealand.
I said New Zealand already.
And then we have Godiva. Hopefully, you get this one right.
Luxembourg.
Luxembourg. That's a good guess. She is indeed from England, however. She's in. If you don't know, Godiva's popped around the DC universe a little bit. She's an English socialite who can manipulate her long hair
and rides a horse.
Yeah, sounds like a different character from Marvel that came out before. The Wild Huntsman.
The Wild Huntsman. Okay. Wow. Where does the Wild Huntsman comes from? Canada.
Canada. Nope. Good guess. He's from Germany. He's a reincarnation of a German warrior. I actually got her name wrong. It was not the Green Flame. It was the Green Fury.
Green Fury.
Originally. Wow. See, I messed up.
If she's anything like my aunt from Brazil, that makes sense. They like fire. She set something on fire before because she was angry. Like
wow. Well,
car.
and here's why I thought this, because she changed her name to Green Flame when she worked on a case with Infinity Inc. And that's where I would have been introduced to her for the first time. So I was actually introduced to the character before I read Justice League International.
Interesting.
And then Ice Maiden, who changed their name. I guess she was also known as Glacier. Interesting. I did not know Ice was known as Glacier. The only thing I thought known as Glacier. Interesting. Oh, this is the other one though. This is the other lady.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So they keep claiming.
I see.
So they're saying. So this is where it gets confusing because this is the Sigrid Nansen, the other one they were referring to, that was not Tara Olaf's daughter. Okay.
Not the daughter of Tarkalov.
They're still saying there's the two Ices. Yeah, which makes sense. And then later on, there was a Batman of All Nations, but we're not going to get into that.
That's a whole other thing. You open that up, and boy, oh boy, Batman's from everywhere. There's Batman, Superman.
But there were some other incarnations, brought into this group later.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that was your original lineup. So I thought we should go down a Global Guardians path here as we get into the issue with
fire.
The Green
Fury from Brazil,
who later becomes the Green Flame, who and then I think DeMatteis and Giffen did a righteous thing when they just named them Fire and Ice.
Yeah, it makes.
I do think that was probably the way to go.
I mean, it's a great song, Fire and Ice.
Well, and then when the important thing is, like, you rename somebody
Yeah.
Fire, and then you can do this.
She's just a girl and she's on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wait.
No.
Did I turn it
You
off in
did.
time?
I think you did. I think we
Okay,
didn't
good.
get a strike.
All right.
We didn't. We will be fine.
Okay. Oof. I just want to make sure I turn that off in time. I wouldn't want to
No,
get a strike.
we're good.
So,
We're under the 3 seconds, I think.
well, as we found out as we were covering this 2 episodes ago, the logical choice now for who killed Christopher Chance may indeed be Fire, because we found out that Fire manipulated Johns into getting money from Ted Cord
To buy more
to give to
cookies.
to give to not to buy no to give to Booster Gold
Oh, to buy more cookies.
to run a bagel business where Booster Gold went back in time,
double toast his
and
bagels.
acquired the perfect water for the bagels. We're not talking about double toasting or retoasting.
Pre-toasting.
I literally just edited that one. No, we're not doing it again. I had to listen to that whole discussion again.
But he does pre-toast the bagels.
You cannot
You can.
pre-toast.
It's a thing. You can do it.
You cannot pre-toast. It's impossible to pre-toast.
I'm gonna bring you a pre.
This is why we're not getting this again. It is literally impossible to pre-toast anything.
When we meet up for the convention, I'm bringing you a pre-toasted bagel.
There's no pre. That just means it was toasted.
I'm gonna pre-toast it and then toast it again for you.
Then you retoasted
No.
it. There's no
I'm
pre-toasting.
gonna have them pre-toasted before they give it to me.
There is impossible to pre-toast. You can only toast one. You can only initially toast once. There's no pre-toasting. It's literally impossible.
Okay, you're
anyway,
right. And then he gets quiet because I said he's right. So angry he is. This poor Dan.
it's like you had to bring it
I
up
know.
again. So, DC Comics presents The Human Target, Chapter 7. To shoe a troop of horse with felt. I have no idea what they're talking about. Maybe you can enlighten me. You're the one that actually reads literature. I just read comic books.
Well, you put felt on a horse's hoof to make it run smoother, softer, and faster on the track.
I don't think that's true.
When was the last time you went to the track? Hit the trifecta.
When was the last time you had anything to do with horse feet?
Oh, horses are delicious. It's sad that we can't eat them in this country.
Oh my God.
I have to say, delicacy. Unbeknownst to many people here.
Is this worse when I just released a podcast where I had to apologize for us making jokes about Florida in the middle of a hurricane, or is this better? What's going on right now?
What, talking about horse meat?
Eating horses. Yeah.
I mean, my great-grandparents said that horses are delicious. I believe them.
Okay. Well, on that note.
You have a horse's hoof. You have to shoe it, but you put the felt on it to make it run smoother, faster, and glide over the surface so elegantly.
You put felt on horses.
Yeah. Just like you pre-toast a bagel.
The writer of this comic is Tom King. He wins many awards. Greg does not win many awards.
Greg Smallwood wins lots of awards.
The artist is Greg Smallwood. He also wins lots of awards. The letterer is Clayton Cowles. I don't know if he wins awards or not, but he should. The editor is Ben Abernathy. There were some variant covers as well. And The Human Target was created by Len Wein and Carmen Infantino, who created no other heroes, including The Flash. Or Wolverine. I should have said it in the other order, because Len Wein created Wolverine and Carmen Infantino created The Flash. Of course, Len Wein with the assist from the editor-in-chief of Marvel at the
Correct.
time, right? Yeah. Make sure we get that right. That makes me so sad because I love Tomorrow's and I love all the work that editor-in-chief has done with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Infinity Inc. I just cannot believe that somebody would take credit for doing something they didn't do. It's almost like I'm at work.
Oh, Dan.
Anyway.
So it goes.
Well, anyway. We've got... I may have people from work that listen to this now,
no.
so I probably shouldn't make work jokes.
I keep everything separate,
I didn't mean it.
He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it, folks.
No. I was mind controlled by John Jones.
John Jones or Jessica Jones or John Jones?
John Jones is his alter ego, remember? John Johns is his Martian name.
John Jones got inside your head.
Jessica Jones is her name. And does she have a superhero name?
Maybe. No.
I know who Jessica Drew is.
No, I don't. I had to think about it.
You don't know who Jessica Drew is? The Spider Woman?
I don't.
How do you not know
I
this?
don't.
How many 70s comics have you read? Like, a lot of them. Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about
I know.
I don't know what I'm doing right now. Do you want to steer this back on track so we can actually cover this book?
Steering is why we put the felt on the shoes of the feet of the horse. It makes them easy to steer.
What is literally happening right now? I have no idea. What is literally happening on this podcast? I have no fucking clue what's happening right now. You keep talking about eating horses and felting their feet.
I'm just joking. I haven't.
And we've only gotten through the title, and all I did was ask you if you knew what literature references was to, and you could have just said no.
And I haven't eaten any horses. I've heard.
You've heard that eating them is good, but you haven't eaten them. How are we back on this?
I wanted to clear it up for the listeners. Greg does not eat the horse.
Well, there's a singer at a nightclub, and she's singing "Nobody Ever Sings About the Bad Girls because the bad girls are sad."
Yes.
Is that true?
I mean, in this case, yes. One could say that this particular bad girl that might be being sung about, or at least referenced in this song or in this book, she might be a bad, sad girl, a girl who is sad and bad. One might say she is the saddest and baddest of them all.
I cannot stop this. I don't know how to stop this. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to stop it. It's like a nightmare. Like, I've had nightmares where I'm driving down I-5 and there are no exits and you can't get off, and this is what this is like.
She's what they would call a saddie baddie. And she's green.
This is what this is like. I can't get off. I can't get out of the car. There's no exits. And it just keeps going.
We've done this all our lives, Dan. You've been in the car with me driving along.
And we have more lyrics on the page. And everybody sings about the good girls because the good girls are glad. Till you've been around once or twice, you can't tell the naughty from the nice. Okay, so this is a whole song about the whole story we've been reading for 7 issues because we're counting the tales from the human target.
Target tales.
Okay, well, Fire is there with Christopher Chance and asks him if he wants to dance, and he's like, why not? She's smoking a cigarette. She puts it out. I feel like the cigarettes are important for some reason, but I don't know why yet.
She takes a chance to dance with Christopher Chance.
Why don't you just read the lyrics? Because we already have rhyming in here, and there's no demon entrigans. You don't need to rhyme every time we see something.
I don't have to rhyme every time? Each and every line? If I don't,
Folks,
it would be a
there's
crime.
no way possible I'm gonna make it through this.
I don't
issue
want to
with
make
Greg.
Dan
I mean,
whine.
it's just I don't know what's happening.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
wow.
Dan. Everything
Okay,
will be
well,
fine.
I quit. Greg, you have the next page. That has day 7 on it. Go. It's yours.
Day 7. Oh, there's more rhyming. More lyrics. Do you want to hear it? All right. I'll start from the top. Now they dance, her and Mr. Chance. Around and around they go.
That's not the lyrics in the book. I thought you were going to read the lyrics in the book.
I had a dream. I went to see the devil, and there was a devil. Today, he said in an awful... Oh, wait. I can't read. He said I'm awful busy.
You sound like the worst beatnik poet, like depressing, like what, like... You just opened like a poetry book and started reading on the stage, like at a crappy bookstore in like Kent, Washington.
Oh
or
no!
something.
If I was reading like that, my bifocals are giving me a tough time to read this from such a distance. I know it's terrible getting old. Why are you so busy? Tell me why. He reviled and winked his other eye.
What are you talking about?
There's a little bit of bad in every good little girl. They're not to blame, though they seem like...
I don't even know what page you're on.
I'm on the next page, Dan. Do you want to hear what was on the next page?
Well, you skipped the whole day 7 page.
No, well... Oh.
That's fine.
Oh, well...
That's all good. We don't really need that page.
Oh.
More importantly, we have a lounge singer singing for 2 pages, and it's summarizing the whole story, talking about the difference between potentially like how people can think of fire and ice, the 2 characters.
Good girls, bad girls.
It's almost like a summary of their history. Blah blah
Nice
blah.
girls.
She's dancing with Christopher Chance, and some dude comes in with a gun, or lots of guys come in with guns, and they're all wearing superhero masks.
You got the Batman, you got the Flash.
And they say, everybody shut the blank up, because remember, we can't cuss in these books, even though they're rated for adults and we have sex scenes in them. So
no bad words, but bad things can happen.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. And everything bad is happening, and Fire just looks at Christopher Chance and says, I want to keep dancing.
Yeah. She wants to keep...
And then she uses her powers in a way I've never seen her use her powers before.
She makes it hot.
Yeah. She's using, I guess, some sort of pyrokinetic ability, but she's turns on her green flame and it makes the guns hot, and the bad guys all drop their guns and cuss a lot. And they leave.
Yeah, they just
go for a walk. They just let the bad guys stay there with their burnt hands and leave.
Well, I mean, Christopher Chance isn't a superhero by any stretch of the means. He's just a guy.
I feel like Fire is, though.
She's a superhero, and yes, she's a superhero. She stops crimes and does things, but Christopher Chance is just a guy dressed up as another guy who gets shot or stabbed by another guy.
It's true. I mean, well, they go for a walk.
Yeah, they go for a walk. She smokes some more. She wants to go on a Ferris wheel.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, let's go on a Ferris wheel. And he's thinking, now he's narrating, everybody has a trick to them. A way they organize the world. It makes some sense. To become someone, all you have to do is learn that trick. The trick to Luther is taking as if all the rules that govern good society are actually just rude suggestions that you are obligated to ignore. You're better than all that. He's thinking to himself, okay. And Luther calls him in the middle of all this.
I think he acts as Luther.
Oh, is he acting?
Yeah,
as Luther?
he puts on puts on his best Lex.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so that's what his moral compromise problem is.
And he
because he's acting as Luther and he feels bad about it.
yeah, and he tells the kid on the other line to get the Ferris wheel running because he wouldn't want to make me mad.
So he's using his superpowers of super disguise and super ventriloquism, super voice throwing. Okay, not super ventriloquism.
Yeah.
Super voice throwing.
Yes.
Super. No, not even voice throwing. It'd just be like super. He's basically Dana Carvey.
Yeah, he's becoming. He's putting on that other skin.
Oh, no.
He's crawling inside of it, wearing it around. What?
He's basically your favorite Dana Carvey movie.
Yes, he's the master of disguise. They're gonna go to the Turtle Club later. Am I not turtly? Am I not turtly enough?
No. I don't.
He wants to have the asparagus.
Well, they start the Ferris wheel for Christopher Chance and Fire, who I'm not sure why Fire would ever need to go to a Ferris wheel. Like, she can fly.
I mean, she wants to see the lights, you know? Who doesn't want to see?
She's like, Lex is going to be mad. She's making fun of him. I was so invigorated by this conversation that I just did a big yawn.
Dan's tired. He's sleepy.
Dan is sleepy, but I don't know that has as much of an impact. So we get them into this Ferris wheel. Now they finally actually start talking about whether or not Fire is trying to murder him.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a whole page of them riding on the Ferris. This is such... I love the Smallwood art.
Yeah.
So we get the Ferris wheel moving, and you get the whole like recap of what's just happened.
Mm-hmm.
So we get it's time for our Yu-Gi-Oh page, where we get the last time on Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Last time.
And we get the recap of him figuring everything out that led to her. And he starts grilling her for it.
Yeah.
And then
George Foreman
she's
style.
like, we flipped a page. She's like, well, I grew up in the favela, so you're going to have to tell me what that is.
Okay.
Is that
so
something I should know?
So it's basically like the bad part of town in most Brazilian cities.
Okay.
When I went to go visit my family down there, my aunt's brother-in-law brought me out to where they all came from, which is from the favela, and he stopped the truck and told me to get out because I thought we were gonna go walk around and he's gonna show me some stuff, and then he started the truck up and left me there for like he drove down. Like I thought honestly he was gonna leave me there. And then
Wow.
it was enlightening. But no, he just drove down a few blocks and I could see the truck, and then I got back to him and I was like, man, I thought you were gonna leave me here. He's like, no, I just wanted you to experience it. To walk the streets for a minute.
Wow. Well, Fire thought it was a pretty place.
They definitely, there's a lot of artwork around.
Okay.
I think if you grow up there and you're from there, it can be very, very, very beautiful, very different. Being not from there, is very scary for a moment. Just because you get a lot of people looking at you like, oh, hey, it's a walking ATM machine. Um, so, but yeah, it's
Okay. Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense. Well, Fire continues to have the conversation and talks about how she worked as a kind of the history of all the parts of the character that have been shared with the Global Guardians and everything, right? She was been portrayed as a model, an actress, a spy. It's kind of going through the different pieces of the history of the character.
Mm-hmm.
But she simplifies herself into a sex symbol, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just says she was the girl everyone wanted to kiss. So she talks about being objectified, but then is like, do you want to kiss me? And she's like, most do.
Mm-hmm.
And Chance kind of plays it off as, I don't doubt it. And then she goes into a discussion about how most men have been objectifying her whole life. And she keeps talking about what other men wanted and objectifying her, and then ask him what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And then we flip the page, and Chance goes back into recounting what his father did, about how he was a tax man and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts to get, he is there at the top of the Ferris wheel, and he starts to step off. And he says, so, he took a bit from everyone. This is the summary of thinking he could make some profit off of it, return whatever was missing before anyone notices his dad. And of course, he lost it all. And Chance says, in response to Fire saying, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, what the symbols are you doing?
Yeah.
What do I want? And he said, I want you to catch me. And she sees him, and the Smallwood painting here, or watercolor, or it's pencil and ink, right? But it always looks like watercolor to me. Anyway,
it's a cool, the way his art style over this, like the page, it just looks so amazing.
The way he colors it is really neat. And he talks about his father sobering up, and then him going and crawling into bed with him and getting a kiss on the head, kind of being comforted by his dad when things were going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And in the same way, Fire flies down and save. We don't actually see her save him. We just see her going after him.
It's like I'm imagining it was like a last second save, because he, he's cruising
pretty far down there. But then the next scene you see is them on the boardwalk walking. Mm-hmm. And I believe she's burned her dress off. Because she wasn't wearing her superhero costume.
No.
And she's wearing his jacket. And she tells him, you're insane. And he's like, and you're a superhero. And she's like, I thought you said I was a murderer. And they get back into that whole scene. So now it's the interrogation is on again, right?
It's never stopped.
And he says, you poisoned me. You saved me. It all washes out. You're still good. And they don't talk for a minute. And then she gets mad. And she's like, you're killing yourself to get a confession. He's like, I'm the human target. I win by dying. You win. Who loses? What about Ice? Now she's trying to protect her friend.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, what do I have to worry about? I know you'll always take care of her. Hell, you'd kill for her. Now we're back to that. And she slaps him. Which, that was a surprise for me. honestly.
that she'd get so.
Like, I'm not sure why that would make her so mad to slap him.
Well, she's very. I mean, she's there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in all this. I mean, she cares for Ice. She's got a lot of stuff going on in that aspect, and he's calling her out on all these things, and it's a very emotionally charged situation, and she's fire.
Well, and he just starts grilling her.
Yeah.
You had the weapon, you had the motive, you did it. You wanted to kill Luther. She keeps hitting him, and then finally he grabs her arm. And after she hits him, 4 times, and she grabs his arm, she says, "I bet you want to kiss me now." Interesting. And then he says, "I wake up in the afternoon and she's next to me." We flip the page. You see Chance's face in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Before I can say anything, I lose my breath. I'm getting used to dying. You move, and the hurt inside you tries to claw its way out. You get your medicine. He drinks some more whiskey. And you push it back down. You shouldn't be here.
Mm.
And it's ice. It's not fire.
That was a big, who could it be?
Yeah, well, I don't think this one tricked me in this issue. I didn't think it was.
I honestly, fire. I that whole interaction between them, it could have gone either way. Could have gone either way in my mind. That's why you put the felt on the horse's feet, Dan.
Well, Chance reminds Ice that they agreed to keep a little distance for a while. Just in case they started looking for Guy after they murdered Guy Gardner.
Iced him.
And, in self-defense, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
they just murdered him straight up.
And she's like, nothing cleaner. I checked with the Justice League alert all night. No one's looking for him. I decided I was safe. And he's like, then you came here. She's like, I was tired and I couldn't sleep.
Oh.
He's like, I couldn't sleep either. It's because he was up all night with fire interrogating her. And you just get a whole page of him taking the shower, and then Ice coming into the shower with him. And he's talking about he couldn't sleep either until he was sleeping next to her. This is a fascinating, very quick relationship happening as this man's about to die.
I mean, sometimes things just can't wait, man. You just you get together and it just all clicks to place, just like a Lego.
Well, they're lying in bed and Fire calls them and wants them to come over.
Yeah.
And Ice says to Chance, she wants to see you. She says you passed her test. So basically, she was protecting her friend the whole time. If he turned out to be a sleazeball and slept with her, I don't think he would have passed the test.
Not at all.
And he's narrating the next page. I can feel them both, the hot and the cold, waves of each flowing over me like a fever breaking. Fire and Ice. And Fire says to Ice, you're the prettiest thing. You always shine. And Ice is like, stop. And they're ready to drink wine together. And Fire's like, I pushed him every which way, dancing the stars, a little anger. He didn't make a move on me. It's rare. He's a good one. And Ice says to them both, to one of them, presumably, I don't need you to defend me. And Fire's like, who are you talking to? And Chance says, it's been a long day. So they kind of both let that sink in.
Right.
And Fire admits that she got the money from the Martian Manhunter. And she used it to get the water from Booster. But I didn't poison anyone.
Oh. Dun, dun, dun.
And that's her claim, anyway. And Chance is like, okay, say I believe you. You didn't do it. But you had the weapon in your hand. Who did you give it to? And she says, you're going to kill him. And now he narrates back. 7 days ago, I was murdered. 6 days ago, I met Ice. 3 days ago, we kissed. Yesterday, we killed a superhero. Everything is going well. While Fire is saying, you swear to me someone did something they shouldn't have. That's fine. And they can face whatever they have coming. But I'm not going to be responsible for anyone dying. Ice is like, we swore, come on. We're the good guys. We don't kill anyone. And Fire is like, he was very upset. He said it was for you, to help you, but couldn't tell you about it. You know him, he's crazy. But he can be sweet too.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, Guy asked for the water. And she did. To be continued. Well, isn't that the end of the story then? We know the answer.
We know the answer. It's simple. It's easy. Wait, but he already killed Guy.
Guy Gardner did it. Yeah, and Guy's dead, so we know. So
story over. That's
end,
it.
right?
Case closed. Done.
Case closed. There can't be 4 more issues.
That's it. Pack it up, man.
That's it. This book is so good.
It is good. Now you got me yawning. I yawned. Sorry, everybody.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a solid.
Well, they can't see us yawning unless we tell them.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was pretty loud, so.
Really, it's because we're just both exhausted.
Yeah.
And we're here for you.
We're here for you, the listeners of the Funny Book Forensics.
We're here for you.
Because, we want to make sure that you are enjoying the things that we bring to you here at Funny Book Forensics, brought to you on our stream, provided by project-nerd.com.
Hey, hold up. Time out. You got to do the advertisements right. Number one, our stream is not provided by Project
Whoa,
Nerd.
okay. I'm sorry. Back up, everybody.
That'd be project-nerd.com. We provide our own stream. However, project-nerd.com is a wonderful place to help us expand to new audience members because they promote our podcast on their site.
Yes.
I want to give them the credit they deserve, not the credit for things they don't do.
You're correct.
And they also do this thing for another podcast.
What was that?
Something about spandex.
The spandex twins? No, the
spandex twins.
Spandex twins. Spandex
I
fandex.
feel like I feel like those were in your Boy Scout troop and my Boy Scout troop.
Yes.
No, that would be spandex stand-ups.
Spandex stand-ups. Okay.
There's also another podcast called Two Guys, One Film.
Two Guys, One Film, where it's two guys watching one film, and they talk about the film that they watched, and it's just two guys watching a film.
Yeah.
It's kind of like us talking about a comic book that we read.
No, it's not like this.
I know, it's true. It's not.
It's not
It
like
is
us
not.
at all. Like their podcast is actually good.
Oh
Listen to
my
it. It's not like us
gosh.
at all.
Their podcast is actually good. Our podcast is,
Is a podcast. Yes. So it's
our podcast is fun. It has levity. It's great. I give you great recipes about horses and tell you all the.
You could also pre-order a copy of the
You
4.
could order the
that
4,
Iggy, the head of Project Nerd, is making. Yeah.
follow along for updates when Esme comes out on Kickstarter.
You could also shop at the Retro Emporium on Meeker Street in Kent, Washington,
What? The Retro Emporium?
and relive your childhood.
Yeah, relive your childhood. Come check out the record room in the back.
You could visit Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul Boudreau at Certified Martial Arts
Oh yeah.
on Bridgeport Way and 27th in University Place / Tacoma. You could also use him for legal services.
That's what I do.
So, yeah. And I mean, there's just a lot of things you can do.
A lot.
But primarily, the number one thing you should be doing is not listening to us butcher this book, but read it yourself.
Read it yourself. Do yourself a service.
And join along with us for the next episode where we talk about book 8.
Number 8, because it's super great.
And we visit an old friend named Dimitri.
Oh.
Who was not a manhunter.
Not a manhunter.
Because no man can stop the manhunters.
He's a red rocket.
He is a red rocket.
That name is...
But he's not a manhunter.
What a name.
Rocket Red? He's Rocket Red. But he's not a manhunter. I don't care what they said. I don't care what they said in those books.
He's not a manhunter.
He's Dimitri. He's a good guy. He's a family man.
He only drinks when it's time for
celebration. Why would a good
celebration.
family man be the subject of the next issue?
I don't know. Tune in and find out.
He seems like the least likely person to kill Christopher Chance.
I think it's just a conversation.
Wait, why are we having a conversation about who killed Christopher Chance? We know that Guy Gardner did it.
I know. No, I think it's they're just having a conversation.
Oh my God. What if it was the Tasmanian Devil?
The Tasmanian Devil from Tasmania?
What if the Tasmanian Devil came back and was friends with Fire and Ice and murdered Lex Luthor, but accidentally killed Christopher Chance?
Oh my gosh. That would be...
You never know. That could happen.
It could happen.
It could be the Tasmanian Devil.
You don't know. And that's why we're going to cover the rest of the books, even though we know Guy Gardner did it. And he's dead.
We know that you know that I know that you know.
That I know. That only sad girls are bad girls and bad girls are sad girls.
You'd love to. Oh, bad girls talking about... That's what you're getting into?
I was singing the song from the beginning of the book.
Did I have the wrong song pulled up?
I was just talking about the beginning of the book about the sad girl, bad girls. The baddest saddies are the sad bad girls.
Yeah.
Baddest saddies or the saddest baddies? I don't know. Oh. Kind of. See, he gets mad at me for playing stuff on the soundboard, but then he can pull up songs on his phone and it's okay. All is forgiven.
Maybe it was the right thing for the episode.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Well, on this note, I'm cutting this episode off because it's
done.
It's
finite.
Jumped the shark multiple times. Fonzie is gone.
Fonzie's gone.
He was actually jumped the shark, then fell off his jet ski and was eaten by the shark.
Oh no! Don't.
Which honestly would have been better for Happy Days
What?
ratings.
No.
At that time, it would have been better for Happy Days ratings.
Okay.
And maybe if it wasn't better for, maybe that would have ended Happy Days, and we never would have gotten Joni Loves Chachi.
Oh yeah.
And then we wouldn't have to hear that douche-noggle support people in politics.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that they're reviving the show and we get the new Joni Loves Chachi, which is just a spinoff of the Sheldon Show.
That's not Joni Loves Chachi.
Sure as heck looks like it to me.
I'm not going to watch it either.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it. I'm waiting for the next spinoff.
I haven't even watched the last 3 seasons of Young Sheldon because as excited as I was at looking for Legion of Superheroes comics in the background of the comic book store every time they went to the comic book store.
It just pops up in the...
And as much as I love Annie Potts,
you just can't bring yourself to doing it.
Yeah, I lost interest.
Yeah, I understand. It always pops up when my grandmother's going to bed, and the show, it's syndication wise, it's that in between show, so it's like, oh, it's on in syndication, so I'll just leave the TV on in the background while I'm doing other stuff. Oh.
I mean, I liked it at the beginning. I don't know. I just started to lose interest.
No, fair enough.
Like, I like the episode where he tells his dad that 7 is more than 3 and they should stop going for field goals in the football games. That was fun. But yeah, I mean, anyway, well, so much for Young Sheldon cast. And this probably wraps up an episode of Funny Book Forensics. I'm Dan, and that's Greg. And next week we'll be covering another episode of Young Sheldon. So come back. Bye, everyone.
Bye. No.